name is Nomzamo Malindisa, and I'm here to give the high-level summary of this Innovation Summit. It is an honor to deliver this high-level summary of the 2026 Indigenous Knowledge-Based Technology Innovation Summit. Over the past 3 days, we have engaged in rich dialogue, rigorous analysis, and forward-looking reflections on how South Africa, and indeed the African continent, can position indigenous knowledge as a driver of innovation, industrialization, and inclusive economic development. This summit has demonstrated that indigenous knowledge is not merely a cultural asset. It is a strategic resource for national competitiveness, community development, and sovereign innovation. The conversations that were held here have reaffirmed that the time for incremental progress has passed. What is required now is decisive. Hello, okay. Sorry about that. What is required now is decisive implementation and coordinated investment and a shared commitment to building IK-based innovation economy that is globally competitive and locally transformative. So in day one, we opened with strong leadership from the DSTI and partner institutions. The keynote and response speeches articulated a clear and urgent call. Several themes emerged prominently. Firstly, the need to produce employment-creating graduates that are capable of contributing to innovation and economic growth. A move from policy frameworks to tangible implementation outcomes, emphasizing the policies that must now be translated into measurable impact. A call to invest in people and partnerships, recognizing that human capital and collaborative ecosystems are central to success. The imperative to protect village know-how, ensuring that indigenous knowledge holders are recognized, respected, and empowered. And the warning to arrest the loss of indigenous knowledge and to invest meaningfully in IK-based startups, converting investments into measurable impact. And lastly, the affirmation that IK-BTI Summit is now a strategic flagship of the National Science and Technology Forum, signaling long-term institutional commitment. Then we had MSME presentations in 3 parallel pitching sessions that showcase the depth of innovation emerging from our communities. We had over 40 MSMEs presenting compelling IK-based products and business models, demonstrating both the entrepreneurial potential as well as the systemic barriers that must be addressed. From these engagements, several policy implementation implications became clear. The first being that institutionalization of IK-based research, development, and innovation must be accelerated. Community beneficiation must be tangible and embedded in commercialization processes. Stakeholder partnerships across government, academia, industry, and communities must also be strengthened. Access to raw materials, like funding and business development resources, must be unlocked. MSMEs require technical, regulatory, and business skills to scale sustainably. Consideration should also be given to centralized manufacturing facilities to support IK-based production. And lastly, that market access must be improved to ensure that IK-based products reach consumers at scale. So day one established the foundation, which is a shared understanding of the opportunities, the challenges, as well as the urgency of action. On day 2, we shifted the focus to an enabling environment, looking at policies, regulations, and sectoral interfaces that shape the IK-based innovation landscape. The morning plenary on policies and strategies emphasized the need to pivot the national system of innovation to support a competitive IK-based technology innovation sector. 2 sessions followed. The first was on growing the nutraceuticals and health infusions industry through IK-based innovations. And the second was on growing health and well-being industries through IK-based innovations. And these sessions highlighted the scientific, agricultural, and commercial potential of IK-based products and the need for an integrated value chain development. In the afternoon, discussions turned to scaling and industrialization, with insights from private sector partners on equity, co-investment, and sustainable growth models. The parallel sessions on regulatory systems and financial opportunities further captured the importance of enabling frameworks and accessible funding mechanisms. Issues of technology transfer, intellectual property, regulatory clarity, and interdepartmental coordination were also highlighted. The policy implications from day 2 were clear. South Africa should explore the establishment of a government pharmaceuticals company, drawing lessons from international models such as Brazil, China, Singapore. Policy implementation must adopt a whole value chain approach, from research and development to commercialization. IK-based manufacturing facilities must be prioritized to build local capacity as well as create jobs. Artificial intelligence and emerging technologies should be integrated to enhance RDI and manufacturing efficiencies, including the development of digital platforms. Good policies must be converted into excellent implementation outcomes, and the role of the DSTI in funding and supporting IK-based innovations, being well recognized, still creates room for other partners and stakeholders to come on board. Government must continue to strengthen coordination and evidence-based decision-making. Day 2 made it clear that industrialization will not occur organically. It requires deliberate design, strategic investment, and regulatory alignment. Then day 3, today, brought the summit to its strategic conclusion, focusing on the financial architecture required to sustain an IK-based innovation economy. The plenary that we were just in now focused on sovereign African knowledge-based funding strategies and emphasized the need for an African and Global South-controlled investment mechanism that prioritizes indigenous knowledge. It also focused on the importance of cross-sectoral and cross-border collaboration to build regional value chains, access to markets, and a Pan-African Innovation Fund. It also looked at the role of private and public partnerships in mobilizing capital and expertise, including technical assistance for business development. The closing plenary reinforced the industry, government, regulatory, science councils, and higher education institutions share a common vision. The sector is aligned, the momentum is strong, and the next phase must focus on implementation, investment, and measurable impact. Across all 3 days, one message has resonated consistently. Indigenous knowledge is a foundation for sovereign innovation, economic transformation, and community empowerment. We now have clear policy direction, strong institutional commitment, a vibrant pipeline, of MSMEs, regulatory and financial partners at the table, and a shared understanding of the urgency and the opportunity that exists within the space. The task then before us is now to convert this momentum into structured programs, funded innovation pipelines, manufacturing capacity, market access, and measurable impact. If we succeed, we will not only preserve indigenous knowledge, but we will industrialize it, commercialize it, and dare I say, globalize it, ensuring that our communities benefit meaningfully and sustainably. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful 3 days. Thank you very much.